Good morning, Chair. Does Ms. Roberts need to be moved over from attendee to panelist? Testing 1, 2. This is for the hearing board. Testing 1, 2. Can you guys hear me?
Testing 1, 2, 1, 2. Mic
All
check.
right.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Thank you. Do I need to move Ms. Roberts over to panelist?
Who?
Ms. Roberts?
From the executive office, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Yes. Well, yeah, you can, of course, you can. But
Okay.
the objective is we're going to expedite these hearings
Okay.
when Mr. Pearman arrives. So Dr. Abraham, you're participating under a circumstance known as just cause.
Correct.
You will have to state at the start of the meeting, you're going to state you're participating remotely, include a general description of the circumstances related to your need to appear remotely at the given location.
Okay.
And then, of course, we'll ask you if there are any individuals who are in the room with you, and it appears to be none. So we'll do all of that on the record.
Thank you.
We're on the record. Good morning. I would like to call today's hearings to order. There are two hearings on the docket, calling in order at 9:44 a.m. Two hearings on the docket. And these hearings are going to go consent. One is USA Waste of America, of California, El Sobrante landfill case number 5139-7. A regular variance, rules 203 and 3002, and then Bon Appetit Bakery case number 6280-1. We have two members of the hearing board participating remotely. Ms. Verdugo Peralta, should we make an assumption that your item was agendized pursuant to the Brown Act?
That's correct.
And that there are no other individuals present in the room with you other than the hearing board's mascot, Peralta?
That's correct.
Beautiful. All right. Dr. Abraham, your situation is a little different.
Yes,
And so you
I am.
participating remotely with us today. Can you please provide a description as to the why under just cause?
Yes, Jerry Abraham, member of the AQMD hearing board here in Washington, D.C. on official government business on behalf of the county, meeting with leaders at the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. No one is present with me currently.
Okay, and you're there on behalf of Los Angeles County, correct?
Correct.
Okay, very well, and no one else is in the room with you.
Correct.
All right, okay, good deal. All right, we have Mr. Clerk, just for the record, are there any individuals who've signed up to provide evidentiary public testimony and or general public comment online?
No.
Let the record reflect that no one has sought recognition remotely. Let the record also reflect that no one has sought recognition here in person within the chambers of the members of the hearing board relative to the representatives of El Sobrante. There are individuals who are present for the district as well as El Sobrante. We're going to move these cases to consent as stated. Petitioners exhibit. The petitioners El Sobrante. Petitioners exhibit number 1, stipulation to place matter on consent. Number 2, declaration of Kristen Colleen. A declaration of Peter Holmesy. Okay, that's a petitioner. So that is that district or petitioner? Okay, so then we'll move this over to, okay, so that becomes A. Declaration of Peter Holmesy becomes A. The stipulation and the declaration of Ms. Colleen is number 2. And then the proposed findings and decisions is number 3 now. Mr. Clerk, we going to move that number 3 over to respondents exhibits. Responded is the district. That exhibit is going to be declaration of Peter Holmesy. That's going to be A. There's a hearing board exhibit, HB1 email traffic between Mr. Balakaplan and parties dated 11/14/2025. Relative to Bon Appetit, there are multiple exhibits. The petitioners Bon Appetit, the respondent is the district. The petitioners exhibits, number 1 is stipulation to place matter on consent calendar. Number 2 is declaration of Robert McDonald, MacDonald. Exhibit number 3 is a declaration of Sonny Cutright, CUTRWRIGHT. Number 4 is proposed findings and exhibits. There's no respondent exhibits and no hearing board exhibits, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right, moving on over to Sobrante. Is there discussion and or any deliberation on Sobrante?
I'll go ahead
Go
and
right ahead, sir.
the petition is for a new flare, a flare that's going to be installed. I know in the past I've objected to this being on consent. The reason this time I'm having is because this flare number 5 is going to be vital to increase the flow and handle the additional gases that have been generated to the acknowledged event that is occurring at the landfill, which is the ETLF. So there's an elevated temperature landfill event occurring at the landfill, so this is causing the DMS values to go up. And I asked for the data, and looking at the data, the average was about 80 something ppm for the DMS, which was much higher than in 2024. So there seems to be a trend in the DMS increasing also, which means there's ongoing ETLF event that is ongoing, and there's an area of concern that is being looked at. In the past, I didn't agree with what the inspector finding that there was no nuisance or potential, but he's the one on the field. I'm going to defer to the inspector this time, only at this one situation, only because I think it's necessary to grant this so the flare number 5 can operate. But however, there's been over 500 complaints, just for the record. I think the last time we heard, over 500 complaints. And then as for the inspector's acknowledgement, there have been 32 complaints, January 1 of 2025. However, he made that finding that while it's not possible to predict with certainty based on the operation under the related variance in 5139.3, I do not anticipate granting of this variance will result in public nuisance to any, and I think the word is considerable number of persons. So I'm not sure. There's been no notice of violation issued to the facility since 2023. There's been over 500 plus complaints. So I'm not, maybe it didn't reach the threshold to issue the NOV, but there has been public nuisance. So that's why I was, on two minds, because you're not supposed to grant a variance if there's a potential for a public nuisance. But the inspector is the one on the field, and he's declaring that there'll be no public nuisance. We'll see. So I'll take his word for his findings as declarations provided. So I do see the need, however, for the flare number 5 to operate so that it can handle the additional flow. So I don't, and then for this particular request for a variance, regular variance, I could see granting it and not objecting to granting of the variance. And the 6 findings can be made to grant the variance.
All right, any additional comments from members of the hearing board? Okay. I'd like to lay a motion upon the floor in the matter of USA Waste of California, Inc., DBA El Sobrante Landfill Facility, ID number 11364, case number 5139. I move that we grant a regular variance commencing today and continuing through, I had it right here. Mr. Palakapalon, what is that there? It's continuing through?
They're requesting commencing
No, it's just right. I see it right here. Yep. Okay. So we'll commence November 18, 2025, continue until November 17th, 2026, or until the date that AQMD takes final action on the petitioner's forthcoming application to modify the sulfur limits in condition 38 and issues modified sulfur SOx limits that petitioner can comply, whichever comes first. Relative to the equipment, location, address, and further details in addition to the applicable fees and the notification to the clerk with respect to final compliance. All data can be found encased within exhibit number 1, which is the proposed findings and decisions. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Second by Ms. Verdugo-Prout. Any further question or discussion on that motion? Hearing none. Dr. Abraham.
Aye.
Ms. Verdugo-Prout.
Aye.
Balaka-Falon.
Just a note, I know you're referring to this, so it is from Rule 203B and 3002C, and also from permit condition 35 of the permit to construct for 647970. And there will be excess emissions, but they didn't quantify it, but they did outline the procedure to calculate it. But with that said, I'll vote yes.
Okay, we'll make sure we add Mr. Balakapalan's comments to the motion as additional data point, but his vote is in the affirmative. Mr. Pearman?
Aye.
All the votes in the affirmative, the matter is hereby approved unanimously. Thank you very kindly, my good friends from the respondent as well as the side of the petitioner. All right, moving over to Bon Appetit. No problem, just love that. Okay, before the hearing board today is Bon Appetit. I just simply love that name. Love it. All right, Bon Appetit is before the hearing board for an interim variance from rule, and the applicability will be rules 203 and 1153.1. Members of the hearing board on discussion and or deliberation. The floor is open.
I was going to add that since it's an interim variance, we have to bifurcate the hearing and do the good cause portion first.
Go right ahead, sir. What you want to tender the motion
Well,
or the initial discussion points?
yeah, the discussion, I mean, I do believe the petitioner has indicated quite well eloquently why, how they met the good cause. It's in the proposed finding and decision document. So so the food oven, they have 2 food ovens that are not meeting the limit of the rule. And so they do need additional time to, excuse me for a second, to do the source test and make modification to the burners. So they were, I think the main in finding good causes were they diligent filing. I think once they knew they had an issue with the sources, they immediately had filed both for an ex parte and then also for this hearing for interim. So they did in a timely manner so they met the that threshold. And when they found out that they were not able to meet the limits, so they were diligent in filing. It was beyond their reserve control. They're in violation of a permit condition. So and so those the findings can be made to grant good cause and proceed to the merit of the hearing.
Yes, Mr. Balakapalan, you're 100% correct. Good cause did exist. Yes, you're 100% correct. I granted an ex parte without prior notice of hearing because they had in fact been very diligent in their dealings. And we wanted to make certain that we ensured that they would be treated very fair and very impartial. In that vein, they did, of course, the ex parte came with a plethora of conditions for which they've adhered to. So today I can find good cause as well. All right. Any additional comments relative to that?
Just want to make so I appreciate that the parties put together a proposed findings that broke out the good cause elements separately and clearly for us in the moving papers, as well as then the ones for the actual variance findings. So that's very helpful to us.
Agree with that comment. Thank you.
So do
All right, so hold on one second. Okay, in the matter of Bon Appetit, case number 6280-1, facility ID number 167755. I'm aware that we find good cause to proceed to a hearing for an interim variance absent of notice to the public based on our discussion, ability to make the findings for good cause.
Second the motion.
Moved by Ali, second by Mr. Pearman. Any further question or discussion on that motion? Hearing none, Dr. Abraham.
Aye.
Ms. Verdugo Peralta,
Aye.
Mr. Malaka Palan,
Aye.
Mr. Chairman.
Aye.
Ali votes in the affirmative. That motion is hereby approved unanimously. We'll move very quickly to the next motion, the discussion or deliberation on this point prior to a motion being proffered.
Okay, I'll go ahead.
Right ahead, sir.
I do believe we can make the sixth finding as we found that earlier that the petition violation of a permit condition, they're not able to meet the Rule 1153.1 NOx limit, specifically condition number 7 of the two permits, G78915 and G78618, that it's beyond the regional control. They conducted the testing and then they found there was a problem. So that, and they will need to probably need another, replace the existing burners with another low NOx burners. I may need 6 to 8 months to do that. There are excess emission during this period, about the estimated NOx emissions from oven number 1 to be at about 15.84 pounds per day, and from oven number 2, 21.12 pounds per day. However, the closing of the business the closing or taking would be without a corresponding benefit to of in reducing and contaminant. The impact of the petition outweighs the emissions from this operation. So to the maximum extent possible, I mean, I'm going through basically the 6 findings. The period the petition will reduce excess emission. So they have reduced the hours of operation on the ovens, and also they'll calculate excess emission, and they've given consideration to curtailing the operation during the period of the variance. So for all those reasons that is stated in the proposed finding and decision document, I do believe you find good make the 6 findings to grant the interim variance with no changes to the proposed order as provided.
Mr. Pearman?
I concur. Just ask administratively, the clerk might check paragraph 12 of the proposed order before the record is complete. Looks like might a couple of typos in there, paragraph 12.
Mr. Chair, I also wanted to make
Ms.
a
Verdugo
comment.
Peralta?
Thank you. When it comes to source testing, we sometimes run into a problem that either the people who are supposed to do it are not available, and I just want to give Bon Appetit just fair warning, if they can possibly give us a heads up of when they proposed that. If it's 6 to 8 months, that means May to July of next year. So I just want to make sure that they're going to be on track and that they will indeed notify AQMD so that we will be expecting it as well. That's all.
All right, any additional comments? Mr. Clerk, page 6, paragraph 12. Okay, just want to make sure we captured that for the record. All right, well, ordinarily we wouldn't do this, ma'am, but you're here. You drove all the way here from Vernon. Any comments you'd like to make before we vote? Why don't you just introduce yourself too?
Okay. Maya Gross from Alston and Bird for Bon Appetit. No, just appreciate the board members' time and consideration of the variance, and Bon Appetit does have a regular variance on calendar for January in the event that this is not resolved before then.
And prayerfully, this will be resolved.
That's the.
I see heads are shaking in the back. No one wants to come back to Diamond Bar. I do understand. Okay, very well. All right. Lay the motion up on the floor in the matter of Bon Appetit, case number 6280-1, facility ID 167755. I move that we grant an interim variance commencing November. I have it right here. Commencing November 18th, 2025 through January 15th, is that correct? January 15th, 2026. From the following rules subsections, petition equipment, operation numbers, addresses, conditions, applicable fees paid to the clerk, and all subsequent notifications, which all are encased in exhibit number 4.
Can I make a friendly amendment to that?
Go right ahead.
I was just going to say that we probably should say that it's starting 90 days or until a notice hearing for the regular variances, which is currently scheduled for January 15th is heard.
Perfect. Okay, I do accept that amendment. Is there a second to that motion?
Second,
Ms. Verdugo Prata seconds that motion. Any further question or discussion?
Just, I'm
Go
sorry.
right ahead, sir.
January 15, 2026.
Yes. January 15, 2026.
And
All
the
right.
excess emissions were, as I indicated earlier, from Fort Knox.
Yes.
I can restate it again, but it's in the,
Yes, the access emissions are within the findings and decisions.
right.
If anyone desires to reference. All right, moved by Ali, second by Ms. Verdugo Prata with all of the appropriate amendments. Any further question or discussion here? Now, Dr. Abraham,
Aye.
Ms. Verdugo Prata,
aye.
Mr. Balakapalan.
Aye.
Mr. Pearman.
Aye.
Ali votes in the affirmative. The matter is hereby approved unanimously. Thank you very kindly today. Thank all who participated and those who are watching via YouTube or Zoom or whatever live stream channel you're looking at us from. All right, we're off the record at 10:06 a.m. and adjourned.
Have a
Thank you.
nice,
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
oh, that's right.